4, 5, and 6. They want you to simplify the expression, and then when we're done, write using only positive real number exponents there. If I'm going to take something from the bottom and move it up to the top, the sign is going to change on it because I'm doing the reciprocal of the value. So what we're going to do is take anything that's in the denominator and move it up to the top so we have all multiplying in there. So I'm going to say that I have a to the 3 halves, which was on top, so I'm leaving it alone. A to the negative 1/4, which again was on top, so I'm leaving it alone. But the bottom one, when I move it up, is going to become a to the negative 1/3. Since I moved it from the bottom to the top, I have to change its sign. Now I have to follow my rule. When I'm multiplying with the same base, my rule is to add my exponents. So I'm going to work with my fractions. Since I'm adding and subtracting fractions, I have to have a common denominator. So I'm going to find my common denominator. I have 2s, 4s, and 3s. They all go into 12 and make my equivalent fractions. I'm just going to make one big fraction. 2 goes into 12 6 times. 6 times the 3 would be 18 for my first one. 4 goes into 12 3 times. 3 times that minus 1 would be minus 3. And then 3 goes into 12. 4 times my minus 1 would be minus 4. 18 minus 3 minus 4 gives me a to the 11/12 power. Now that 11/12 is your exponent, so it's not right by the a, it's raised up, right? So you're really just adding and subtracting fractions. Yeah, you could do it on your calculator, but we like to practice. So number 5, same thing. I want to move everything up to the top, so it's just a plain multiplying problem because then I can add my exponents. The y to the 1/3 is going to stay the same because it was already on top. I'm going to move the y to the 1/4 from the bottom to the top, so now it's going to be y to the negative 1/4. I'm also going to take the y to the negative 3/4 and move it from the bottom to the top, so now that one's going to be y to the positive 3/4. So the ones from the bottom, when I move them up, the signs are going to change. Again, I'm going to find my common denominator. In this case, it's going to be 12 again. And make my equivalent fractions. 3 goes into 12 4 times. 4 times the one on top is 4. 4 goes into 12. 3 times minus 1 would be minus 3. 4 goes into 12. 3 times 3 is 9, positive 9. So 4 minus 3 plus 9 would give me so I get y to the 10/12, but we know that with fractions, we always want to simplify them, and we can reduce that down, right? If we reduce that down, we're going to get 5/6. So y to the 5/6 power is going to be my answer. So number 6, if we rewrite that one so it's just a multiplying problem, what should I have?
A minus 5.
5 halves.
Yeah, 5 halves. A half.
A to the 1/2.
A and 1/3.
A to the 1/3, exactly. So that 1/3 became positive instead of negative, and now I'm going to add my exponents. My common denominator would be?
I'd say 6.
6. I'd say 6 too. And so, 2 goes into 6.
3.
3 times that minus 5
Negative 15.
is negative 15, yep. 2 goes into 6 on the second fraction. 3 times the 1 is 3, and then 3 goes into 6. 2 times the 1 is 2. So I have negative 15 plus 3 plus 2, which would give me negative 10. I have a to the negative 10 6. First thing, I can reduce that down, right? If I reduce 10 6, I would get
5/3.
5/3. So I'd have a to the negative 5/3. My other thing is, I only want positive exponents and not negative exponents. How do I rewrite that so I have a positive exponent?
Just take the money. 3/5? No?
Nope.
Okay. How do you write that?
Think about when I had just an x to the negative 2. What did I do with x to the negative 2? I wrote it as 1 over x squared, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what do I have to do with the a to the negative 5/3?
1 over a.
1 over a to the positive 5/3, right? So I'm taking it from the top, moving it to the bottom so the sign changes. Kind of like here, it was on the bottom, and when I moved it to the top, the sign changed.